Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen news, this time for the week ending the 16th of April. I was at Insomnia 60 Gaming Festival over the weekend, so sorry for the lack of videos over the last few days. We have some pretty exciting news, so prepare your hype engines and stuff, because the schedule report for 3.0 has just been updated, with an aim for a live release, aim being the operative word there, for the end of June, the 29th of June in fact, and an Evocati PTU could hit as early as the 5th of June. But remember, these are internal target dates and are likely to move if blockers occur. We'll be kept up to date on the progress though over at robertspaceindustries.com/schedule-report. The release plans to include a huge amount of content, including planetary landings on moons, Yela, Selin, and Daymar, as well as the Levski landing zone as a possibility as a stretch goal. These are hugely explorable areas, but they're also going to have some amazing things on too, like Yela's supposed to have underwater caves. They're all going to have their own feel and looks, and it is the start of something quite awesome for Star Citizen. The persistent universe setup for object containers, megamap, and major networking improvements are going in. It should have significantly better performance across systems. Planetary outposts are going to be in, new missions and mission givers, new armor, items, weapons, including the shoulder-mounted railgun, basic subsumption, which is the foundation for AI, mission system, dynamic content, and like conversation logic as well. Cargo is going to be in including loading and unloading commodities, things to trade, inventories, and trade kiosks. A huge amount of the item system 2.0 is going to be in there. Insurance testing for ships as well. They're going to be testing that insurance system with costs and getting ships back and that sort of stuff. The room system, at least parts of it focusing on airlocks and doors, is going to be in. They're enhancing the shopping experience. There's going to be deeper persistence with damage and ammo and damage states on your ships, and they're expanding the mobiGlas with extra apps and functionality. It will also add the Dragonfly, Cutlass Black, Connie Aquila, the Urza Rover, and Misk Prospector. I suspect we might see some other bits and bobs there as well. The mining mechanics have not been specifically mentioned in the roadmap for 3.0, 3.1, or 3.2. But we're going to have to wait for CIG for a bit more clarification on exactly where they see that fitting into their schedule. Expect it when it's done, but we should see that at some point, hopefully within the year. And the patch does contain a huge amount of other expansion and bits and bobs as well from that list that I just mentioned too. But we will look at that in a different video because we need to look at 3.0 and the other two releases that they've kind of got planned for 2017 with 3.1 and 3.2. Now, as expected, it does seem that 3.0 is a large testing of features that they wanted to put in for a while now. But it is on a whole new development branch. That 2.6 branch that we've been on for a while, they kind of stopped working on it in earnest 9 months ago, or at least they've been working on this branch for over 9 months. The changes and features are huge from 3.0 to 3.2, and this is going to allow them to get a huge amount of feedback and fixes for a new, larger PU, amongst other things. So, patches 3.1 or 3.2, we'll also give them that brief breakdown, but and they're hoping to drop by the end of 2017, hope being the operative word again there, because 3.2, it would be towards the end of the year if they got it out, and I suspect that's more likely to be an early 2018 release. There is a large amount of tangible gameplay, ships, and all that sort of stuff, and systems built for 3.0, and I'll be getting a video about all of that very, very shortly. The Banu Defender, $185. So it's confirmed that if you're using credit to buy the Banu Defender, it's going to be $185. The ship is likely to have a war bond sale as well, so that's basically a credit discount if you're using not store credit to purchase your ship, new money effectively. I also suspect that we're going to get the Banu Defender for sale on Friday the 21st of April, and we should also see some more in-depth view of the Banu race, and the Merchantman maybe too. Spectrum migration. So Spectrum has basically taken over from the forums now, and the old forum system have been archived. Spectrum is that powerful communication platform, and hopefully over the coming months, it'll prove that with some extra functionality and traction in becoming a powerful, awesome communication system for Star Citizen. Starter packs. The Reliant is now available as a starter pack for $75. Some other packages will be getting a refresh and update over the coming weeks, it seems, as well. They're going to be looking at that. Tell me what you think of starter packs and what CIG should have as starter packs. That will probably be helpful for them as well. Sneaky ships. We saw in some brief screens about scheduling for Star Citizen about a couple of unannounced ships, or ships that I didn't realise were on the schedule at the moment. The Saber Raven and the Xi'an Nox. I originally thought the Raven, though, might be a skin or loadout change for the Saber, but I would have expected to see a whole load of other ships with slightly different names, like for lots of other ships, if that was the case. I think we might be seeing a new hull or more unique variant of that ship, but we'll have to wait and see to see exactly what that is. Monthly report. The monthly report has gone out with a little more detail on what's been going on in the studios for the last few weeks. These reports are basically extra info built upon the ATVs we've seen now. Check that out if you're interested. I'll get a video up on that in the next few days as well. Link in the description below. The week's ATV was focused on the UK. They've been working with more player interaction stuff with objects, cockpits, your abilities to switch individual switches and press individual buttons, and for them to have actual functions in your cockpit or other places as well. When handling objects, players can now choose their orientation, setting them down. They can throw them as well if they can't place them on something because it's too far away. Using too much stamina will make you become fatigued now, and you're going to have issues if you're trying to mantle or vault, if you're too fatigued, especially kind of whatever your loadout is will affect your stamina as well. So if you're wearing loads and loads of weapons and really heavy armor, that's going to affect your stamina and what you can jump onto and stuff after you've been running. They are working on suit punctures, oxygen system, depressurization, and that all of those effects on players. Further work has been going into the new shopping experience for purchase kiosks. Helmet UIs have been getting some love as well. They're going to be able to support various fields of vision as well, which will make lots of people quite happy. Also, while maintaining easily readable text and symbols. There's been work on audio propagation, allowing audio to move from room to room through doorways correctly, and for sound to come where it should kind of correctly come from. And these doorways that it moves through will allow you to kind of trace where a sound is coming from a ship, all that sort of stuff. People are going to be running around stealthing and stuff using those audio mechanics. Lots of progression has been made on Squadron 42 dialogue and the tools to support it. The Gemini ballistic shotgun concept is being finished up, and a new ship weapon manufacturer, Preacher, is also being worked on. Environments have continued with truck stop interiors, satellite interiors, microtech and habitation have all been worked on quite a lot. Ship-wise, they have continued on the Hull C, Reclaimer, Constellation Aquila, Prospector, and even VFX for the Buccaneer. They've all been getting lots of love. They have completed the layered impact library for various weapons and the way that weapon impacts on different surfaces. Work on animation for the Scourge railgun, breathing, stamina, jumping without weapons has all been made. They've also got some stuff done with reloads for your weapons and the reworks of the current first-person shooter weapon system. The Derby Studio have also been working on animations for Squadron 42, as well as some work on the 3.0 alpha and with a performance capture shoot with pickup lines and all that sort of jazz as well, finishing up the various animations and mission givers for the game. The Derby Studio focuses basically on faces and facial animation. There was a ship shape about the Aegis Javelin. It was a little featurette with some great visuals on the Javelin, which I've been showing throughout the news. They discussed the ship in a bit more details, but its creation and the needs for it. They wanted a destroyer in game. The destroyer is packed with weapons and turrets. Some of the rear turrets are on rails and they slide back into a protected area when not in use. You'll be able to tell when those turrets are basically manned effectively. It can fit very few ships. It's not a carrier, but it can fit a Vanguard, and it's got a cool hangar bay. The ship is heavily influenced by the Idris too. Watch that section if you're interested in learning a little bit more about the Javelin. There wasn't too much tangible information there though. RTV or Happy Hour, whatever it's called now, they are finishing off the male character we found out there before they move on to the female animations, getting them finished. So they need to get that base line kind of set with the male characters' animations, because then they go, right, we need these exact same ones for the female, but hand-keyed or mo-capped and changed for feminization effectively, and they want it to be right and perfect, so that's why it's been taking a bit of time. Run gun is not the style of gameplay that Star Citizen is targeted at. First-person shooter AI will have different skills, allowing them to act differently animation-wise, and untrained AI might do more silly things like lean out too far, whereas trained AI might be crouching and going prone in much more sensible areas, and might have better animations for that, so they look less afraid or whatever. Injured movement animations are on the schedule for later this year as well. You're going to be able to drag bodies out of allies and NPCs and stuff to get them out of the way, or to get them into safety for medicine purposes, whatever. Your mate's been shot, you want to drag him into cover. Relaxed weapon states will be in the game at some point as well. Once new cockpit interactions have been done, they're also going to move on to finishing combat and entry and exit animations, and stamina affecting reload speeds, and some of the other standard animations are not they haven't decided whether you being exhausted will affect some of the other more standard animations, like taking off your suit or reloading a weapon or getting a different weapon out, that sort of stuff. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what CIG want to do with that. And that's kind of it for the week's news. I am exhausted after my I-60 gaming festival. That weekend was full of gaming, but also I'm shattered. I'll get a load of content up for your consumption this week, so don't worry about that. Links in the description on the schedule report, as well as everything else we discussed. BritisonCon is this weekend on the 22nd of April. Tickets are still available, so check that out if you are able to get to Manchester. Being a subscriber on my channel and commenting on any of my Star Citizen videos in a given month gives you a chance to win a ship. For April, that's a Drake Buccaneer, so tell me your thoughts on 3.0. What do you think the Saber Raven is? What other starter packs do you think CIG should be selling? Remember to like and subscribe, as it really does help me, and I will see you in the verse.